It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a day to honor Dr. King's legacy.
And this morning, more than 200 volunteers will gather for City Year Kansas City's 6th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service. This morning, City Year Kansas City's Development Director Jeff Schaefer joins us live to talk about this day of service. Jeff, obviously with COVID-19 this year, this day of service is being done virtually. How did you make this all work?
Happy MLK Day. So as City Year is an education nonprofit that works in schools, we've had to switch all of our mentoring and tutoring virtual. So we had to adapt the same with our MLK Day. So typically we would all gather folks from all walks of life together in a space to do beautification projects for a school community center. This time we had to switch it up. So we had volunteers, as you said, over 200 pick up their kits. They look like these. Inside of them, they have paint and tools, and then we have a virtual program that's going to allow them to complete canvases. These canvases will then be picked back up, and then we will install them inside of the W.E.B. Du Bois Center on 4510 Linwood.
Wow.
That is amazing. You know, in 2020, Jeff, we saw racial tensions really highlighted, similar to those Dr. King experienced during his lifetime. And you all will be facilitating an important conversation on racial equity today. But for anyone who may not be able to make that Zoom conversation, how I guess, would you recommend, what advice would you recommend for those who want to have that conversation in their own household?
Yeah, just to start the conversation, you know, as we focus on this year, a quote that stands out to me from MLK is, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." So if we can have a sense of unity, but also clarity that the work isn't done and that we still need to continue forth, that's very critical. There's a lot of resources out there that you can find to start to have this conversation. One that we're pulling from is a clip from Bryan Stevenson, a lawyer and activist for the Equal Justice Initiative. He's got a lot of good content out there. And just to make sure that the thing about these conversations is they might be difficult, but that's probably why we need to be doing them. So not to shy away from having these conversations and be able to focus on what we need to be doing as a community to stand up for social justice.
Very important conversations. Jeff, thank you so much for getting up with us this morning and talking about this.
Thanks, Jeff.